Black Stink, the soap opera without the soap. Yeah, it's time for that Black Ink Crew review, recap, and opinion for episode 10. Can you believe it's episode 10 already? It's titled, You Got Some Stupid Ears. Wow, season 2, episode 10 already. This is crazy. Anyway, the episode starts out with Ted and Tiffany in the shop. Then Duchess and Caesar walk in looking pitiful. Duchess is letting out her inner animal today. Her animal print dress shows that she's a cheetah. Get it? Cheetah, cheater. Because starving Marvin was eating it up, right? Yeah, so anyway. Oh crap, and Walt show up at the shop next. Duchess says that she doesn't care about the other people going to Puma's bachelor party, and that she doesn't care about them coming back either. So she doesn't care if they live or die. I guess that's what that means. Anyway, Caesar states that the strip club that they went to on the last episode must have been the worst one that he has ever frequented. Duchess says that she doesn't understand what Caesar was thinking. Being at Puma's bachelor party is crackhead city, and top models don't strip for crackheads. But forget all of that. The infallible supermodel Tiffany Winter, who just happens to be half Jamaican and half Polish, asks whether Caesar and Duchess will be attending Puma's wedding in Jamaica, her native land. Well, one of them. Anyway, Caesar says, oh yeah. Duchess replies by saying, if Conehead, I mean Caesar, is going, then yeah, she's going too. And Puma better have the doghouse ready for Duchess, since she thinks she's coming. In the next scene, Duchess gets a visit from Beverly, the Latina that she drew the phoenix rising from the lotus flower on. After some healing, it is finally time to color it in. I can't help but to notice that Beverly looks like one of those mob wives. She has the whole crime family look to her. Don't shoot Beverly, I'm just saying. Anyway, Beverly states that her karma tattoo that Duchess drew on her is the one that people love the most. And she says that she believes in karma. Duchess says that she doesn't believe in karma, but she does believe in the golden rule, aka Luke 6:31. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Which means that Caesar is going to cheat on her with his ex, right? Anyway, this pretty bird gets some color in that pretty bird carved into her leg, and it looks fantastic. The phoenix looks like Toucan Sam. It's a pretty rainbow phoenix rising from the flames, and you thought that Duchess was good for nothing. Haha, she fooled you. In the next scene, Puma meets up with Quani at Sylvia's restaurant. The couple are talking about Puma's bachelor party, and come to find out, they go to strip clubs together. So the debauchery is something that she personally enjoys. But forget all of that. Quani is an interesting name in all, but I may start calling her Quani, because her gap looks like a coin slot. She looks like if I slipped a quarter in her mouth and turned her ear, candy will pop out. Just don't ask which end, and don't eat the Snickers. It's not made of chocolate. Anyway, Puma lets Quani know that he is contemplating inviting Caesar to their wedding in Jamaica. Quani is okay with Caesar coming, and not okay with Duchess being there. You see, Duchess questioned whether or not Puma was the father of Quani's child. And she really took it there. Not only did she question whether or not Puma was the father of the child, she went as far as to flat out call her a floozy, a trollop, a loose in the caboose goose, or as you urban contemporaries would word it, a hoe. I couldn't help but to notice something in this scene. Quani's engagement ring. Puma must have gotten it from Arkansas, because that's a little rock. Now that's a struggle ring if I've ever seen one. I'm not sure of what 25-cent machine Puma got it from, but damn, if he told her that the ring he got her was an invisible set, yeah, that stone is almost invisible. And it's not a diamond, it appears to be a sapphire. Now, when I get some free time, I'll put a magnifying glass to the screen to figure it out. But the last time I saw something that small, blue, and pitiful, it was Eazy-E in the hospital. Rings like this is why they say it's the thought that counts. In the next scene, we're with the god of mistakes, mess ups, and the inventor of internet memes. Oh shit. And he finds out that the cops illegally searched his vehicle that he was in, which may lead to him getting out of the charges that he currently faces. And I'm left thinking that this is like the law of attraction, like attracting like, in its purest form. This idiot's folly has potentially brought him good fortune for once. He should make sure to not ruin it. Like, don't walk under ladders, don't let black cats cross your path, and get a vasectomy. Anyway, he does a very early celebration dance that looks like a crackhead on ice. But the celebration doesn't stop there. He gets even more good news. Kylie, aka Old Crap's first baby's mother, or the white one, and their daughter Lulu are in town to pay him a visit. He informs Lulu that they are going to the zoo today. She'll be somewhat disappointed when she finds out that the zoo is his job. Yep, Black Ink is a zoo. A bunch of animals and lion tamer Tiffany Winter. Love me some Tiffany. So he brings his main family to the shop. And not just his main girl, his main family. Yeah, I took it there. Lulu wants Caesar to dress up like a clown so that she can laugh at him. You gotta love kids. I mean, she doesn't realize that Caesar was born a clown. Anyway, he lets her draw on his face with a permanent marker instead. He should have let her draw some chapstick on his big lips or some hair on his head. Oh well, maybe next time. Now it's time to catch up with Puma, as he pays a visit to a barbershop named Bronx Block or something like that. Anyway, his barber, Sugar, will be weed whacking that palm tree on his head. Caesar was next door getting his hair did. The car wash next door buffed his skull extra shiny for this occasion. The funny thing about it is Caesar says that it's raining cats and dogs, yet neither one of them are wet. None of them have water on them. And as a fan of the show, we all know dang well that Black Stink hasn't seen water since Jesus saw Earth. Puma lets Caesar know that he can come to the wedding, but Duchess can't. Not because her greedy lip would eat everything in sight, but because if she shows up, Quani is going to have the same expression on her face that Puma had when Caesar gave him a comb for Christmas. This news, of course, royally pissed off Caesar. If he had hair, he would have pulled it out. I kid you not. Caesar jumped up out of his seat quicker than Sassy sitting on a bed of dicks. And he ran out of the door faster than Duchess facing a lie detector test. No kidding. Without the sideshow bob hairdo, Puma, come to find out, has huge ears. Oh well, at least he looks like a distinguished crackhead now. Back at the shop, Tiffany hands Walt a letter with his father's name on it, written in crayon. He really needs closure in his missing father situation. I don't understand why he didn't just put his face on a milk carton. Anyway, after a couple of bogus calls, the search has just begun. But he knows that he will eventually find him because his name is Ronald Miller, not Waldo. I noticed something interesting going on in here. In the episode where Duchess was flirting with Marvin, she was wearing a black shirt with a floral print. And in the earlier scene with Puma and Quani, Quani had on a similar print dress. And now Tiffany has on a black shirt with floral print. Ain't that something? Might be a trend going on in New York. Just wanted to point that out. Back at the bail bondsman's office, the bail bondsman find out that the district attorney put in a plea for to receive 3 years in prison. Took a himself in his pants when he heard this information. Here he is thinking that he got a get out of jail free card. Then he gets this news. The bail bondsman let him know that they think that he will be in jail for 3 years. And they hand him a gift pack. Soap, which we know he won't use. A toothbrush, which we know he won't use. Some potato chips, which he ate immediately. Ooh, look at me talking like a Puerto Rican. Oh, did I say that out loud? And they gave him a cigarette. No Vaseline for his. No ball gag to keep the squealing down either. The bail bondsman found out their information by a quick internet search for Oh Crap's real name, Richard Duncan, and his birth date 1984. I don't know which website they used to look up 1984 and Richard Duncan on, but I find his name to be very ironic. Dick Duncan. He was set since birth with a cursed name. His mother should have named him Couchbed so he'd know when to pull out. I know, cheesy but effective. Back at the shop, a client comes in and wants a tiger tattoo. Grr. Oh crap, left the drawing in the cab. Luckily for him, he emailed it to her so he can just bring it back up on the computer and retrieve it, which makes me wonder why they don't have all of their artwork cataloged on a hard drive. I just don't get that. Anyway, he feels that the client is being a bit overbearing. She has about 90 minutes to get this done, so he has to use his time wisely, and here he is retracing the design. So she's just gonna have to wait a minute. And as usual, I was a bit disturbed by Mr. Duncan's behavior. You see, oh crap is a bit sadistic and abusive when it comes to women. Think about when he was tattooing Kathy. I mean, he really enjoyed harming her. I don't know what this guy's problem is. Anyway, when he's not giving women labor pains, he is giving them tattooing pains. He stuck that needle in that woman with reckless abandon. After the torture session, the tiger looked nice. She will have to come back to get it colored in on another episode, so we'll just have to stay tuned for her. She looks like a cheap stripper, so I don't mind seeing her again. In the next scene, oh crap meets up with Kali at Chocolat Restaurant and Lounge. Apparently, the daughter that they had together was a difficult pregnancy, and Kali was very sick. Well, Kali, having shit in you will make you sick to your stomach. Anyway, Lulu was born prematurely, probably due to the stress of Kali worrying about Mr. Duncan. Kali's father went to jail when she was young, and her relationship with him ended on that note. And with that said, I am left with a very personal question about Kali. If she sees this, I hope that she doesn't get offended. And the $1,000,000 question is, why does Kali look like an avatar? I swear, the first time I saw her, I said, this chick probably talks like a dolphin. You're not bad looking at all. I'd holler. And you seem like you have a great attitude. I'm just saying, Kali, you look like a fairy. She has the whole new age, I believe in past lives look to her. She must be a Buddhist or an avid pothead. Same thing. In any event, this woman has that little psychotic sand look to her added in there. You know, sand, S-A-N-D, stab a nick dead. Yeah, I just made that up. My advice is this: oh shit, better watch his ass. I never thought I would ever say that. I just said that shit better watch his ass. Anyway, now we're at Cozy's, which is some sort of kid wonderland. Lulu gets her hair did, and then they put a tiny little tiara on her head. So now she's Princess Lulu. Aw, she even gets a glitter tattoo of a unicorn on her hand. She should have gotten a Daddy's Issues tramp stamp. We all know that she is going to be a tragic mulatto, so let's enjoy her smiles now. One of these days, we'll see her on cops in a high-speed chase holding a bloody knife. Just kidding. Yeah, I had to say I was kidding for legal reasons. Anyway, despite a very weak attempt at telling Lulu about his potential visit to prison, he just couldn't do it. So it looks like Kali will have to explain this mess to Lulu. She seems to be a pretty bright girl, so I am sure that it will go a lot better than either parent expects. And I'm sure that Lulu just sees it as being a vacation away from her slow father. Back at the shop, Tiffany is watching over the business like the worshipful empress that she is. In the meanwhile, Walter receives a blank envelope from a flirtatious delivery man. Now, watch it, Mr. Delivery Guy. I don't care what kind of benefits your job has. No smiling, no winking, and no long looks at my tip. Thanks in advance, guys. Anyway, thankfully, Tiffany was there to console Walter because he finds out that his father is in fact fatalityed. Walter walks out of the shop about to go get him some alcohol because the news made his body go numb. Either that or his last drink has him numb already. Tiffany lets him know that he needs to talk about it, but Walter is better with liquor and listening than he is with words. He goes outside and calls the mother of his child so that he can listen to some worthless commentary from her, as if she will have words of wisdom or something for him. I think that calling a woman that you owe around $50,000 or so to would cause more stress, unless he thinks that crying to her will make her more sympathetic towards him, and his bank account will stay together because it has a band-aid on it right now. It's damaged. Anyway, come to find out, his father didn't even receive the news that his mother passed on as well. So now both of his parents are gone, and neither one of them knew that the other died. And with that said, whenever you think you got a problem going on in your life, just remember Walt. There's always somebody who's doing worse. For the record, I was going to leave this out of my review. I wasn't going to say this, but when Walt was on the phone with the mother of his child, Tiffany was hugging him, and he put his arm up to her and pushed her away. I damn near kicked a hole in my screen. How could anybody, especially during a trying time like this, get a hug from an angel and push his blessing away? That was a Tiffany Winter hug. When she walks in the room, I feel like Christmas is going on inside of my pants. So eat a candy caned dick, Walter. Don't do that again ever in your life. You need to bow down in her presence as the world should. All hail the queen. Anyway, Walt says that he feels as if he finally has closure now, and he wants for his kids to have a more positive story. Woohoo, kudos, I hear that. He wants them to know that he's there for them 100%, yada, yada, yada. As I said before, it's hard to feel sorrow for villains. Just saying. And that was about it for this episode. So make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and comment below. No offense, Walt. Don't slap me.